morning. We are back on day 9 of semen retention. I'm feeling great this morning, although I am a little tired. It's the end of the week though, so it's no biggie. And I'm just feeling grateful to God today for the opportunity that I have to draw closer to Him and the opportunity He's given me to have a voice, any level of platform to be able to spread His word. And I'm feeling great this Friday, and I can only attribute that to the amount of time I've been spending with my Creator, and I've been trying to spend with my Creator. We need to pray to God every day. We need to read His word for substance. It's an everyday thing. Obviously, some days you're going to forget, but you got to view it as more important than brushing your teeth every day. You got to view it as more important than dressing properly to go to work, whatever. You have to present yourself before the Lord every single day. And this is not just something that you do for the sake of doing it. It's something that also benefits you. So that's why this video is entitled Learn to Chill with God. Lately, I've been spending a lot of time just one-on-one with my Creator, trying to speak to Him when I'm down, when I'm happy, when I'm just chilling out, doing nothing. I try and share my day with Him, because that is the only way we're going to develop a real relationship with God. He's given us that open line of prayer, but we have to take advantage of it. If we don't take advantage of it, we're not going to be able to benefit, right? Something we can liken it to is, like, let's say you're an aspiring politician and you've decided that's what you want to do and you want to run for office. And the president of your country, he meets you at some type of conference at your school. And he reaches out to you and he says, you know what? I like the way you speak, young man. Here's my direct telephone line. You can access me at any time, 24/7. If it's 3 a.m. and you have a question, you can call me and ask. I like the way you speak, and I think you're intelligent, and I want to help you. If you're that aspiring politician, are you not going to take advantage of that phone line? Guaranteed you are. There's no question that politician is going to call, or that aspiring politician is going to call the president and pick his brain. How much more so our own Creator? He has given us a direct 24/7 line to Him at all times. We can speak to Him at any time of the day, when we're upset, when we're sad, when we're happy, when we win, when we're losing, whatever we're feeling, we can throw that on Him, and He is always listening. And on top of that, He speaks back to us through His holy word, the Bible. And you know what His holy word says about prayer? It says things like pray constantly. Constantly you should be praying. And it also says throw all your anxiety on Him, because He cares for you. And so that's what I want to talk about today, guys, and how you can practically use that 24/7 line in your life. Right? When I wake up in the morning, I say the Son of God prayer. I say, Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. If you want maximum confidence, say that prayer every single day. The Son of God prayer every single morning. And then do some push-ups. That's the way to get your mind and body right with God first thing in the morning. And this morning I was so tired this morning, but last night before I went to bed, I was reading and watching a video about the story of David and Goliath. And that story has always hit me crazy, just because it's the most famous boss fight in all of history. But not just because of how cool it is, just because of everything surrounding the circumstances, right? David was this small, scrawny kid who he had never actually been to war, right? He was a shepherd. 90% of his time was spent sitting outside tending to sheep. But there was that 10% of time where a bear and a lion attacked his sheep. And without hesitating, he ran in, grabbed the animal, struck it, freed the sheep, and then when the animal turned on him, grabbed the lion's mane and slammed its face into a rock and killed it. Isn't that crazy? And he couldn't have been older than maybe like 17 or 18 at the time of this happening. And so I just think about that, and I think, like, that's what comes with being that close to God. Because David was one of those people, he was so close to God. If you look at all his writings, and the biggest book in the Bible, the Psalms, are mostly written by King David, both when he was king and before. If you look at his writings, he just spent time sitting with his Creator and talking to him and allowing him to flow his spirit into his being. Because he pulled up to that battlefield, and as soon as he heard someone taunt the holy God, he was like, what? Huh? You're talking about my God? And then he went straight to the battlefield, and he killed him. And he cut off his head, and he carried his head all the way back to his city. That's some G stuff. That's a G right there. David was a G. And I want to be a G with God, man. Like, it's the ultimate power in this universe. They're messing with our minds, guys. They're messing with our heads. They're trying to make God sound weak. They're trying to make it sound nonsensical to believe in the highest power in this universe. Not me, though. The average Holy Spirit user, I mean, look at the thumbnail, bro. Look at the thumbnail. And I want you guys to be just like me with that. Because there's no limit to the Holy Spirit's power. Absolutely none. We can all tap in, and we can all win with it. We ain't gatekeeping God over here. So pray constantly. When you lie down, when you get up, when you walk on the road, when you're working, when you're joyous, when you're upset, when you're bored. Just talk to your Creator. Let Him guide you. Read Psalm 23. When I was a young boy, my father used to read that to me every night. And he would tell me, you don't need to be afraid of anything. This is one of the greatest chapters in the Bible. That's what I will leave you guys with.